Start Podcast.
And welcome back to the Press Start Podcast. I'm your host Vic, aka Mr. Never Shown. This episode number 106, and this week I'm welcomed by Scobie1.
Welcome back, everybody. How you doing?
And this week we welcome back Lunatic Oblivion.
Hey guys.
And this week we also bring back our special guest, Paul, aka Inhuman. Welcome back, brother.
How we doing?
Good, man.
Glad to be back.
Yes, sir.
Where's that cheers on that soundboard? Woo!
Woo! But yeah, man, how's everyone been this week, over the past week?
Doing pretty good.
Straight.
That's dope.
Playing a lot of games.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I definitely can see your list here, man. Man, you got to it playing games, so let's dive right into it because actually because you weren't here last week, we didn't get to talk to you about the game. Armored Core 6, I need to hear about your initial impressions of this game.
Honestly, I'm not like blown away by the game. It's fun. I like how the game runs, but I think there's a lot of labor of love that's kind of missing from this game. The fact that like for the PvP scene, which was supposed to be rather big and feel pretty good, didn't. And with the PvP scene, they kind of just did private lobbies. There is no matchmaking, so you can't really play against other people. It's poorly put together, it just feels, but the game itself is smooth. It plays like a Dark Souls game, it feels like a Dark Souls game, but that also means that all the bosses feel like a Dark Souls game. And like sometimes you're just like you lose to the boss, then you have to rebuild your whole build right there and then after you lose to the boss, and it gets annoying. Some of the boss fights, it took me an hour. I fought a single boss for a whole hour only to not get him and then put down the controller for like 30 minutes, come back, try it again. I was like, man.
So you're going to run the meta bleed build.
Yeah, like if there was one. What it is right now in PvP, I hear, is literally just shotguns. The whole idea is you zoom up to your opponent and blow all 4 shotguns into them and you stun lock them. You left click, right click, switch out your left gun, shoot them again with your third shotgun, pull out your right gun. Don't use missiles, just 4 shotguns on every arm.
Oh, welcome back to
the
war.
That's a bummer. Yeah. Which button is the chainsaw?
Yeah. It feels so clunky in some of the things, and it's not like Dark Souls where you dodged, okay, you don't get hit because you have those invulnerability frames. Armored Core says, yeah, you may have dodged, but fuck you, we hit you.
You got hit when you dodged.
You got hit while you dodged, so you take damage. And I was like, damn, dude. This thing
that little bolt sticking out your back and just tap that just a little bit so you take 100 damage.
Yep.
They're like, the funny thing is you actually would have taken less damage had you not dodged, but because you dodged, the hitbox actually surrounded a crit point, and now you're taking 2 times damage. So
yeah, it feels difficult. I'm gonna say that, but I do enjoy some of the missions. Like, it's not an open world, so when you take a mission on, it throws you into the mission, you go. It's not like, okay, I took this mission and I'm gonna fly over to where it is. No, you take the mission, you're dropping into the mission, go.
Okay, so when you're in the mission, is it more kind of one of those like you can take different paths all to the same objective?
No, it's pretty much a straight through the mission. Sometimes there's a little bit of leeway to go around, like they may give you a giant wide open board to go through, but the point you need to get to is at the center on the far end.
Okay.
That's kind of upsetting because I know you were really, really excited for that game, and I know like your excitement kind of like bled into like the rest of us here at the podcast, and then to have you be like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all
I was
right.
like,
Honestly, yeah, I was really hyped for this, and like I had a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, I didn't not like the game. Like it's a good game. The problem is, I think I just like some other games more lately. Like I picked up a small indie game that I had played years ago called Rise to Ruins, and I spent a whole day playing that. Jordan and I went back to Pikmin 4. We played the shit out of Sea of Stars. Like,
actually, I want to
honestly, I just haven't gone back to Armored Core.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about those games in a minute.
Right,
That was what I was getting at. Like, I detoured the fuck out of everything. Like, not playing Armored Core, it didn't feel like a bad game. It just felt like the game I didn't want to play at that moment.
Okay.
So Roger, with Armored Core though, is this a game that you recommend picking up right away, or is this something that you recommend picking up on like a sale or something?
Do you like mecha games?
I mean, it's been a long time since we had one. So, I mean, I'm interested in playing one, but like, is it really
Then
worth
pick it
the
up.
$70?
It's worth the money, honestly. I think
Actually, let me put it in a
the-
better perspective. Is it worth the $70 given the slew of games that are about to come out? Is it worth to pick it up right
that's
now, or wait
that's
because
a
there's
good
too many more games coming out that are worth playing?
that is a perfect question, and I know exactly what you're trying to get at there. Yeah, I don't think it's worth picking it up with all the other games that are currently out on the market. Like there are so many options right now. Is it really worth picking up this game? Maybe not. You know, if you don't have Game Pass or you didn't want to get like, Starfield for like, $70 on like if you don't have Game Pass, then yeah, you're probably going to pick up Starfield instead. It's just going to be a bigger, more in-depth game.
Right.
And we'll talk more about Starfield, like my first impressions in the early access. I'll talk about that, but like
Right.
honestly, I think Starfield still has blown it away, even though I have my issues with Starfield. I think it's definitely like it's still the winner of the week.
Yeah, for sure. So before we obviously dive into more of your games, because man, you were busy playing games. Let's run through Scott and Paul's games real quick. The shorter of the two lists. Scott, you were playing some more Pokemon Go. I mean, there's not really much to go on there unless you have a fun story behind that one. But is Baldur's Gate 3? Did you play a lot of that over the last week, or was it just kind of popping?
I would like to preface this by saying that out of the shorter list this week, Paul has COD and then Warzone, so it's still the same game. So technically, the list is
I
shorter.
have another game thrown in there. Hold up. I got a curveball just in the
So
right.
no, I have been really trying to gun for Baldur's Gate 3, not to rush, but to make sure that I'm playing through, like getting through that storyline, kind of in prep for Starfield. But Baldur's Gate, man, the highs are high, the lows are low. I am having so much fun, doing so many things, and now I'm just like I had said it last week, when the game's hard, it's fucking hard. Like when there's times for that to be really really hard, it is the fucking worst, and I can't stand it. But like I've never had more fun getting my ass completely kicked for no fucking reason. Once again, it's like I just go back for it. I'm like, yes, can I have another? Yes, can I have another? Like,
Please, may I have some more?
man, oh, absolutely. Like, just I'm at the very very like ass end of Act 2, and like we had spoken last week about some of the fights you get into. I mean, there's like three. You get the three-peat of just ass whoopings. And you really do. And at no point have I leveled up in between any of those fights, just because the experience and leveling up. And we'd spoken earlier about how, like, level 12 is the cap, so obviously getting there is going to be a lot more difficult. And man, I fucking wish I could level up, because I swear to God, man, I have just been getting my ass whipped, but I have loved every second of that game that I've been playing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it sounds like it's one of the front runners for game of the year, and it definitely shows the go.
Honestly,
Why? For
man,
sure.
absolutely, and everyone has been having like completely different experiences all for the same game.
Yeah.
It's really like you can see. Obviously, it's a Baldur's Gate game. Like you get those different outcomes, you get those different things. But man, everybody has been having such like crazy different experiences. I believe it was last week I was talking about just this one fight that I was just getting just clapped, and then
Getting them cheeks
I,
clapped.
yeah, like no lipstick, no dinner, no wine, just cheeks. And I was like, I was thinking like, what can I do for other avenues? And I stumbled across like I can convince this guy to kill himself. No boss fight.
No boss fight.
No boss fight. No boss fight. It was a pseudo boss fight with like 18 followers and another like extra beast on top of that, which was his pet. Convinced him to kill his followers, convinced him to kill his beast, convinced him to kill himself. Got the experience, beat the quest, moved on. Bowed your uncle. Like you can just do random shit like that. But yeah, it's been fantastic.
That's dope.
Someone's been playing Knights of the Republic too. It is Darthania.
So, Paul, let's get to your games here. Obviously, you've been playing some Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer and some Warzone. How's it been going for you? I mean, Scott knows if you checked in the last couple weeks episodes, I haven't played COD in such a long time, just because I'm like silently like protesting the game, like low key, like I really don't want to play it no more.
No, I understand that and everything. Well, funny enough, the game I actually have the most hours on this week is actually Hi-Fi Rush. I decided to pick that up and everything. And I really wish I would have picked it up when the hype like was first jumped out about that. That game is just the epitome of fun. Like the essence of fun that you have, and it's like a rhythm game. Would have ever thought that would have came from that? The game, just the quirky jokes and everything, the personality that comes out from everybody. Uh, the writing, man. I'm a huge fan of just writing, being a writer myself. That is just like perfect. And I pray they expand on the universe and everything because it being a rhythm game really just blows it up even more because it's not your regular hack and slash. Although it can be if you want, you're just not going to get that extra, oomph when you go for that combo at the end and everything. But yeah, I have that as like most hours on the game this week. But aside from that, Call of Duty, this little update they released, not really feeling it. The pistol's fun if you're playing third person alone. So I've really been playing for the most part. But yeah, I also don't like the new chat thing. You gotta agree to a chat now if you even want to talk in game chat now.
Right, yeah.
Kinda-
They implemented a new AI program that's going to be monitoring game chat. So if you're toxic within game chat, like the old Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, everyone's getting fucking banned. It's like
Yeah.
it's an interesting implementation to protect.
I
those
got
people.
a 24-hour comms, man.
Yeah,
That was quick.
Damn.
I just got released this morning from jail,
I was
man. I
gonna
was
say
happy as hell.
That was
That's
bound
great.
to happen. There's
But
no
I just
way.
wanted to comment
For any
on
deal.
Hi-Fi Rush because we got to get through what we've been playing so we can talk about upcoming releases. But yeah, man, Hi-Fi Rush, man, was like one of those low key. It was obviously with Shadow Drop, fun game. I gave it a 9 out of 10 when I played through and beat it. And yeah, it's interesting because like you said, it is a rhythm game, but like it doesn't have to be a rhythm game. You can make it a hack and slash game, but if you're really good with rhythm on top of your hack and slash, you're going to get those added bonuses and extra damage and stuff like that, and feel your special meter a lot quicker and stuff like that. So it gives you a benefit if you have rhythm, but it also doesn't like Roger. Remember when you played Hellsinger when I requested you for to play it, and you were like, "Man, like this shit's kind of hard." Like if you that was a game where if you weren't good at rhythm, you were going to get punished for not being
Get
good at
fucked.
rhythm, like for sure. So like Hi-Fi Rush was a easy entry into that, and yeah, I definitely agree. I hope that they continue this and make this into like a AAA game because that was a side project from Tango Gameworks. Let's see if they get the full funding and get a bigger game. But I know I love those small projects. But let's move on here because Roger, just give us quick insights of Starfield because I actually think we should do like we're going to save a lot of your thoughts for next week's episode because we're going to have a massive section of Starfield in our next week's episode. So just give your initial thoughts, just real quick, if you want to run through that.
It is a Bethesda game. That is first and foremost. You
Oh,
think
time out.
okay?
Old.
Do you have do you have over 15 hours in it?
I have 6.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
And he hasn't even started yet.
The last rumor promised us no bugs for 15 hours.
Right.
I
so-
mean, the first hour of the game, I closed the door behind me because I walked where I wasn't supposed to, and a level 10 enemy, a xenomorph, looked at me, and I was like, "Oh, you're level 10." So I shot him with my pistol, and his health bar just went, "Eek." And I was like, "Oh, he has like a bajillion health."
yeah.
Excellent. This feels like a Deathclaw moment, like Fallout New Vegas. You walk into the Deathclaws, and you're
Oh,
like,
yep. Hey.
"Let's go!" And the Deathclaw's like, "Dude, fuck you."
Yeah.
This thing looked at me and was like, I'm gonna fuck you. And I was
Yeah.
like, please don't. I walked
Nice.
inside a building, closed the door behind me. He teleports into the middle of the room because of a glitch. And he's just like, let's tussle. And I was like,
Was it
Nice try, asshole.
was it your game that you were on like out in like on the moon and the person was out on the moon without a spacesuit, or was that someone else's?
Yes, yep, that was mine as well. You know, I'm 5 hours in, and every time I'm on a planet with a non-breathable, a planet or a moon or just a desolate hellscape with no actual outside environment, she's just walking around in her skivvies like, yeah, this is cool, and I'm like, your spacesuit, and she's like, man, it's so cold out here, and I was like, really? I don't want to.
Oh, man.
No fucking way.
That's great. So yeah, I can't wait to dive into Starfield, man. I'm looking forward to checking it out here on
It's just-
Wednesday.
People lied about, like, reviewers are going to be reviewers. You can never trust a reviewer. No reviewer is ever good at their job.
It's their
because they're
personal opinion.
Not only that, they're paid to tell you something. Because remember, what happens with, like, Sony, for example? What happens if you tell the truth? They pull you as a reviewer. You
Yeah,
don't
you're no
get to
longer a
early
reviewer, yeah.
access review anymore.
Rockstar
So
does the same
you
thing.
gotta have to be the guy that says, well, you know, it's a good game. Is it? Is it? Well, I have to because they're paying me. Okay, yes. So, like, this game, definitely, you're gonna find glitches within the first hour. It happens. It's a Bethesda game. If you think otherwise, you're wrong. And if you say otherwise, you're wrong. It's a Bethesda game.
Yeah, it's a bit
But
Bethesda game through and
otherwise-
through. Yeah.
You know, the character, the dialogue, it's a Bethesda game. So, like, at one moment you're like, let's do this. And the dialogue choices can be anywhere from, like, I want to have your child to go fuck your mom. And you're like, what about that nice sweet spot in the middle that just says, hey, what's going on, bud? And, like, you know, sometimes I just don't want to be super aggressive in my dialogue options. And they're just like, what's quirky, what's quippy, what's funny?
Yeah.
And it's like, I just want to feel like I'm actually role playing this.
Yeah.
Gotta give it the good points though. Don't get me wrong. I'm always a proponent to bash a game first, but I want to tell you that the game is excellent. I have so much fun. Okay, like it's a really good game. It plays well. The load times, beautiful. The fact that your robot says your name, you could type in whatever you want, and that robot will say it. And you may not want him to, but every time you leave your spaceship, he will remind you what you typed in. And also for your name, it's not like you type in a full thing and it's going to read it all. It recognizes first part of your name, second part of your name, third part of your name, whatever you type. Like, I typed my full legal name into there, and it actually just goes, hello, Captain Roger. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hello, how are you?
Man, that's pretty
Like,
dope. Yeah, this game
Like,
seems like
that's
it's really
new.
in depth. Like it even like the small
Yeah.
things. Like someone like tested like the game remembers and saves everything, and you gotta remind you like this game is huge, right? Someone tested.
Yeah.
All they did was pick up plastic bottles and put them in one bathroom. They left, went to other planets, brought back, put them in the same bathroom. Went to another planet, came back, put them in the same bathroom. They never went away, no matter how many times they loaded the game, no matter how many times they quit the game, anything like that. It loaded back up, and everything he collected is still right there. And I was just like,
Yeah.
that's
I
crazy.
love that stuff, man. There was a developer that was talking about things like that because people were complaining about, oh, why is the game at 30 FPS? And then the developer was talking about, he's like, yo, literally every object in this game has a physics like algorithm built around it. It has
and
a
that's- it's so good. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, you walk around and you can feel, you accidentally walk into a little folding ladder that's in the corner and you hear ding, 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 and you're like, oh shit, I ran into a ladder, and it moved. It's not like it's sitting there glued to the ground. I ran into it. But then again, I do get the Cyberpunk 2077 vibes where, like, I look around a corner and the game's like, oh shit, this stuff's supposed to have physics. Explosion of objects, because they all just realize they're supposed to have, like, collision, and they loaded wrong. So I get confetti of objects when I turn a corner sometimes, and I'm like,
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
Cyberpunk where the trash bags would like randomly spawn in, but they would
Yeah.
all drop and explode.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
it was basically Toy Story, but you weren't the main character. You
Yeah.
were just Andy walking into the room and everything just drops. Like,
Pretty much. But enough
Yeah.
of Starfield. We could save that for next week's episode. just want to talk about a couple of the games that I played, and actually I beat a couple of this in the last week. I beat Stray. That was a phenomenal game. Really enjoyed the cat walking simulator, and at the end of it, it kind of leads it open for a Stray 2 or like a sequel to
Yep.
it. So I'm really excited
Rich.
for that. Road 96 Mile Zero. That was the pre-sequel to the game that Roger, me and you played earlier. I think it was
Yep.
last year when we played it, and or it might have been this year. I lose track of time at this point. And that shit like had some really nice connections to the main game. So I highly recommend it. It was actually on sale the other day on Xbox for like $8. I was like, why not? I want to play it eventually anyway. And it's like it has a completely different like gameplay loop. Like at the end of each like mission, you go into like this musical, like you're playing like Temple Run or like Subway Surfer. You're like collecting the coins. You're just going side to side, avoid obstacles, jump over shit, slide under stuff, and those are your boss battles. So it's a way different take than the original game. So
Yeah.
and it just adds more story and depth to like what led up to the events of Road 96. Why are these teens wanting to leave the America of the game? And you're like, okay, I get it. I really fucking get it. I know why now. And so I definitely highly recommend checking that out. And then last up, my new game that I started was The Bookwalker Thief of Tales. It's my current small game. This one's actually pretty cool. It's on Game Pass. It came Game Pass day one. This is the new release a couple weeks ago. And I like the whole idea. Like, you're this. I don't know what you are exactly, and I'm still learning, but like, you go into a book, and then like this thing tells you what's going on in the book, and you're trying to steal an item from the book and take it from the book into the physical world, and you're getting it to this like mysterious person. I have no idea who I'm giving these items to, but like at the end, like I only did one book so far, and I had to get this acid or whatever out from this artist potion, and I had a choice of like, do I take this potion out of the book and give it to this mysterious person, or the repercussions was if I take that potion, that person who was trying to take, I had to steal it from somebody. He was trying to take it to his family to resurrect his wife or whatever that died, and I had to make that choice of let him resurrect her, like take half of the potion, I take the other half, or do I take the whole thing? And I was like, fuck it, I'm taking the whole thing. I don't even know you, so
You greedy bitch. You,
I was
you
greedy. I was like,
bastard.
fuck it, I'm sorry.
You greedy bitch.
Yeah, so
You
like,
ever play Dragon's Dogma?
I have
In
not.
Dragon's Dogma, you can actually make counterfeit items of things. So, like, there's a mission, I believe you got to take a sword to a guy. So, if you go make a counterfeit of it, you could give the guy the fake one, keep the real one, and he's all happy with the fake shit.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. But yeah, definitely highly recommend it. Yeah, so I definitely recommend go checking out this game for sure. It's a lot of fun. But
That sounds good.
that's really all the games that I really played this week. There's a couple of them that I don't really want to dive into. It's just normal week after week games. But I think it's time to move on. We've been talking about a bunch of games, so we're just gonna go ahead and move on to the upcoming game releases. All right, Roger. So you're back. You get to take the reins of the game releases. We had Scott last week. He did a phenomenal job. I appreciate it there. But we do got
Define
a
phenomenal.
better than me. Better than me.
Damn.
So Roger, you had the pleasure of covering this week's game releases again. It's a pretty solid week. So if you want to run through these for us here.
It's all right.
I mean, yeah, it's okay. Let's start off with Chants of Sonar. Chants of Sonar is a story-based game coming out for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on September 5th. It will be a game where you're slowly sort of deciphering puzzles and trying to uncover the story in a world not like ours. It looks like you're on either a desert planet or just on a sort of or you just may be in a desert on Earth, but the idea is you're on a strange location where things aren't, in English. You have special characters you may have to decipher, puzzles to figure out. It looks really interesting, and it has a quite interesting color palette, especially because it looks like almost like a sun-bleached color palette. Next up, we've got Rune Factory 3 Special Edition. This is the re-release of Rune Factory 3 for the Switch. This comes with all the DLCs for the game, so it'll be able to kind of really delve into that full game itself, because Rune Factory traditionally will have extended content. A lot of times you'll find these in JRPGs or Japanese games. You'll find that you have extended content after you beat the main story, where the story keeps going. This is only for Switch. Then we've got right after that, Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out for the PS5. That comes out on September 6th, as well as Starfield for Xbox X and S and PC. This comes out from the early access. So now you'll be able to play it if you have Game Pass. You'll be able to play it right away. And honestly, it's a fun game. So if you have Game Pass or don't have Game Pass, get it. It's a great way to play the $70 game that is worth playing. After that, we have on the 7th Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. This is the mobile game for iOS and Android.
Yep.
After that, we've got Rugby 24 releasing on pretty much every console that exists except for Switch. That releases on the 7th as well. Followed by Fae Farm. Fae Farm is a farming simulator game we've kind of been seeing talked about at a lot of the recent game awards. Fae Farm is coming out for Switch and PC. That's on the 8th. And the last thing we have this week is NBA 2K24 finally coming out. That's on September 8th as well. That's for every console, including the Switch. So guys, are you guys ready for this week?
Rugby 24. Let's go.
Let's go, Spooky!
I'm not a rugby fan.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah, I mean, this obviously got to go to Starfield. I think this week, Baldur's Gate already had its highlight when it released on PC. But I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to have a solid release for the PS5 as well. And we're going to dive into some more news regarding Baldur's Gate 3 later on. But Starfield,
Yeah.
I'm super pumped up. Like, I really fucking took off work.
Super humped.
Super humped. I mean, you
Super humped.
with the right
Yeah.
Subscribe to Game Pass, and all of a sudden, whoa!
No, but
with the right persuasion check, you might be super humped.
no, but
that's
on a serious
like a
note,
14.
really looking forward to this game. I mean, I've been looking forward to it since it was originally announced, even before the acquisition. So really excited to check it out. But I would have to say NBA 2K24 is my other one that I'm looking forward to as well. I haven't bought or played a 2K in a couple years because it kind of was the same thing, copy and paste. But I'm ready to hop back into 2K. Everyone that checked this out, they're like, yo, this might be the 2K that's actually good and ready to play. But what about you, Scott? Which game are you most excited for outside of Rugby 24?
Outside of Rugby 24 and obviously the PGDA golf tour that you got off of recently before you came here, it's obviously Starfield, right? I'm excited for Baldur's Gate coming to PlayStation 5 because I know a lot of people that have PlayStation 5 that were really excited just to have this game. As far as me on my end, it's Starfield, man. We've been waiting for this for months and months and months. Years, yeah, but like really, everyone knows you just wait until they actually start like getting ready and gearing up to release it. That's when you get excited because Bethesda can do the only thing they can do better than an RPG is putting off an RPG. And now that it's here, like it's like Christmas week, man. It really is.
Yeah, I'm super fucking excited, man. What about you, Paul? What are you excited for? Any one of these other than Starfield at all?
Well, I'm definitely excited for Starfield and everything. I think people should really get off Bethesda's back. Like they themselves described this as Skyrim in space. So if you were expecting anything more than Skyrim in space, you just weren't listening.
Space Rim.
Yeah, it really.
It's
Yeah.
Space Rim. Let's do this.
Space Rim. But other than that, Boulder's great. Like that's probably the only other thing that I'm looking forward to, mainly because like currently, and this with my trolling aside, PlayStation really has just been a desolate planet. Like there is nothing to do on there but play Fortnite for the most part.
Which you
And,
can visit in Starfield.
Yeah,
You can visit that
like,
planet.
yeah, real shit. And the crazy part is that, like, for the most part, like, if I turn on my PS5, I'm probably gonna boot up YouTube and watch Starfield clips. So it's and you know, like, shout out to all PlayStation players, but like, y'all had to admit, it has been very, very boring. I'm only playing a fucking what is it, Hogwarts Legacy, and that's barely now. And I'm just flying around just for fun, just like I boot up Spider-Man just to swing around because I finished the game already. Like, is that all that's left for PlayStation? Is just to either fly on a broom or swing on the web around? Like,
Well,
so.
At least they have vicarious living. They at least have that going.
Exactly
We
what
can't just
Marshmallow
hop on a
said.
river and around.
You mean the Aaron Simulator,
the Aaron Simulator?
aka Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah, yes.
Need
But
you to
yeah.
hop up to Hogsmeade and get me this top real quick, and then come back and here's a new spell.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Roger? What are you excited for?
Nothing. I've
No.
already got all my games that I'm playing.
Right.
There's literally nothing on this list I'm even gonna look at.
Damn. He's
Except
already
for the
played
one
all
he's
of
already
them.
playing.
Yeah.
So
I'm
He-
already playing
yeah.
Starfield.
He,
so
he,
it's
he
like
spent the extra $30 or $40 to play Starfield early.
$30. I was like, dude, I'm just gonna pay $30 and play it today because I really want to. Like, I just didn't want
I
to
couldn't
wait. And
validate
honestly,
5 days early.
honestly,
I could
5 days,
validate.
30 bucks. It didn't feel that bad to me.
That's for $6 a day. You too can feed somebody who wants to play Starfield early.
Oh
Like,
man, you
Looking
guys are
on
great.
Steam, that's the difference between like that was like $100. Like, oh, if you want to pay $100, yeah, sure. But like for the Game Pass, $30 to play a week early,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
take it.
So
Fucking take.
that's all the game releases that's coming out this week. Let's go ahead and move on to the industry news. And of course, we got an update to the Microsoft Activision Blizzard. And this wasn't necessarily an update per se, but the FTC appeal to the Ninth Circuit was unsealed, so people got to read like the fucking 3,000 page appeal they had,
The
and like
docket.
yeah, so the FTC was just trying to like give them compelling evidence, and it just was not cutting it. They were just trying to say that like the judge like rushed it and chose the wrong approach to the decision making and stuff like that. But it's like it goes to show like the FTC, like, does the FTC know what's going on? Because then the Ninth Circuit read this and was like, no, she didn't, or he didn't, whatever. And then it even went to the Supreme Court, and they're like, nope, definitely not.
That's because the judge has some fucking games to play. Like they don't have times. They don't have time to fucking deal with this bullshit.
She definitely did say orange stand. She said, "Wait, $15 a month, and I get all that." I was
Yeah, she was like,
we
why
got
would I
her.
not?
she hook and sinker and all, for
Yeah.
sure. But
She was like, they might bring
yeah.
WoW Classic to Xbox. I mean, shit. Sign me up. And
So-
you say 3,000 pages, but it really reads like a 2,000 page document. Honestly, the wording is beautiful.
Yeah. So Paul, I know you've been following this case a lot lately. Did you take anything from the opening of these documents?
Yeah, the main thing honestly that I took away from it is that nobody that's dealing in this whole case has any clue what the hell is going on in the video game industry. And it's just like really like evident with the people arguing to stop it, and also the people who are supposed to allow this process to continue. Like no one knows, no one's asking the right questions. Everyone's screaming monopoly, but no one's understanding just like it's not illegal to have a monopoly, but it is illegal if you are a monopoly and use it to shut shit down. So it's like it's really weird how the FTC just doesn't know what to argue. And honestly,
They don't have they're. It's the same problem we always have. It's old people arguing about young people shit.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
And they don't understand a lot of the nuances that really go in and keep this from a quote unquote true monopoly. But
But the other thing to also mention is monopolies are illegal, so that is an incorrect statement.
Yeah,
Like,
yes,
that's
yes,
the
yeah.
Sherman Act. So to conspire or to even try to make a monopoly is illegal. To even think about doing it is illegal. So
Yeah.
we
The
do
whole
have to
podcast-
recognize that.
Yeah, the whole issue though with the FTC
Yes.
is that they were arguing to defend PlayStation and not arguing to defend the consumer. That's
That's
really what
the
it came
issue.
down
Yes.
to. You can't
agreed.
you can't defend another company because another company's getting bigger. Like, no. Is it hurting the
Nope,
consumer?
I agree.
No, it's not. It's benefiting the consumer. More people are actually having more access to more games. So where's the monopoly at here?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a win-win.
I
for
blame
the
a Jeep
consumer.
pie.
You blame a sheep pie.
But enough of Microsoft Activision Blizzard. That's an every week thing. But Riot was in the news this week, Roger.
Yeah, so Riot was in the news because they announced that Arcane is getting its second season next year, the winter of 2024. So we're looking at either the beginning of next year or the end of next year, just winter 2024. So excited to see that we're finally going to get a second season for a game, for a show that was honestly just really ground defining for like it was really good. It was a really good show, and it really put forward what we can get from like video game movies.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, because obviously I never seen Arcane season one, but I know it did really well, and with obviously a second season being announced, and we kind of already talked about the rumor or like the confirmation of the Valorant movie that was being announced. So like,
Yep.
if Arcane TV show is anything to go off of, I think that the Valorant movie could be a really really big success as well. So it definitely has
Well,
me
yeah.
excited.
It seems like the only people that genuinely fucked that up was Halo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, like I saw the Gran Turismo movie this week, and it just goes to show that like video game movies and TV shows and media can be done correctly. Stay relatively true to what happened, the actual story, what brings people into the story, and you're gonna be good. Don't just make up shit to make up shit and be like, well, it has a green guy in a spacesuit, it should work.
What if he has sex? He's not an android, or he's
Yeah.
not this or anything.
We're gonna do everything the game didn't do, you know,
And do it
Mind-blowing.
worse.
Yeah, and do it
My
worse.
Master Chief was a virgin. What's going on with this show, man?
I never knew what my Master Chief looked like.
Chad, he was too busy killing the Covenant to have sex with women.
Yeah. Do you even
Gross.
know what a woman is? You know. No, but on a serious note, Sky, if you want to talk about Gamescom opening night live this year, outside of the
Yeah,
whole
so-
stage rushing, you know.
Outside of the whole stage rushing, Gamescom's opening night. So Gamescom's 2023's opening night was the most watched opening night live in history. So it hit 3.9 million hours watched. It hit 1.3 million peak viewers and an average 674,000 viewers over an airtime of 6 hours. Massive.
That's amazing.
Huge for them.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, I
It's,
love
yeah, but say
the
it's
huge.
huge. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, it's pretty massive, and the fact that this show was so massive, I hate to say it, but it was a pretty like kind of show. It wasn't like all the way there. There was because
It was pretty big.
it wasn't like an announcement show this time. Like I know we had a couple things that were like shadow drop with Xbox, which was cool, but it was really just updates to games that have already been announced. So it
Yeah, trailers and stuff.
it didn't really have a lot of that. Oh, we're getting this new game from so and so, or oh, this new game looks so dope. It was like, oh, okay, update, cool, release date here, gameplay there, yeah. So it just kind of
Yeah,
it just didn't. And there was like a lot of like midsection. It was kind of just like dry. There's a bunch of games, and I was like, it's probably not gonna get that too excited. But like what Jeff Keighley does is try to get like such a variety on his shows, which I applaud him for, because he's just like checkbox. Every fucking genre in gaming, he'll have that at the show, every single time, and I applaud him for that. But there are a lot of sections where I just don't vibe with in certain games. There's a lot of genres that I don't like playing, so it's just like I'm gonna go to sleep now because it's just not my cup of tea. But yeah, that's awesome though to see that Jeff is just killing it. He runs like what 3 main shows a year that we follow. So yeah, why not? But let's move on here to the next thing here that has a big effect. We were just talking about like movies and TV show where they're dealing with strikes right now, and I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it pronounced like SAG-AFTRA, or do they actually spell out every letter? In that?
SAG-AFTRA.
Okay, so they're the ones that are in charge of like the Writers Guild like strikes and stuff that are going on for movies and TV. They're actually considering doing it in the gaming industry as well, because like a lot of the writers for these games aren't getting the right credit to it, and like and the right proper like money too as well. So we could see an impact in the gaming industry from these strikes. We could start seeing more delays, bigger spacing between games. Like 2023 is going to be really massive, where like I think the next couple of years is kind of going to be like a downward trend of game releases. But do you guys have any take? Anybody has a hot take on any of this at all?
Honestly,
go
go ahead.
Go, Roger.
Go ahead,
go,
Scobie.
go.
Go, you
I was just
first.
gonna make a joke about playing Skyrim for the like 28th time because this will work in there somehow. I'm just gonna end up playing Skyrim again.
Yeah. So from a non-joke perspective, my opinion is I don't remember who writes a game, and I feel like I should. Like I should at the end of the day be like, who wrote Halo? Like who was the one who wrote the story to that? Who wrote the story to Mass Effect? You know, maybe at some point you want to be like, who did the writing for these things? Because that to me, like, you remember who wrote a TV show or a movie, or you know, you're like, this is James Cameron's next big movie. Well, what about the writer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but it's yeah. Yeah, but not everyone knows that. Like not everyone who's as involved in the gaming industry as you want to be
Right. Yeah.
they don't even know. And so like I think it's a bigger thing for like the greater population to kind of know these things. I think
Yeah.
writers of all genres should be getting credit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I agree with
absolutely
that.
agree.
Yeah, I think
But
I think our issue where that stuff kind of comes from is with a lot of these people or a lot of these developer studios is that they'll have like a main writer like Sam Lake from Remedy Games.
Hmm.
But
mhm,
then if you're talking about like BioWare, there'll be one lead person, but then there's like a whole 20-person room filled with
Hmm.
everybody who's just throwing shit at a wall, posting on here, posting on there,
yep.
and then they create a story together. So I agree with you and everything. It's very hard. You can't really just narrow down this is the person who's the screenwriter of Blase Blase. So yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
And
Yeah, and go ahead.
I was just gonna say the other point behind the whole strike is like not only is it the writers getting credited for like the writing of the stuff, it's also coming down to the fact that streaming services for say movies and TV shows is actually burning out the writers and the content and the
Hmm.
ideas are coming up with shows constantly all the time where we could potentially run into the same kind of issue in the gaming industry because we are slowly moving toward a subscription based. PlayStation has it, Xbox has it. That
Yep.
is the negative drawback of having a subscription service because
And
if you don't add new content to it, it's going to dry up and no one's going to want to subscribe to
yeah,
it until a new game comes out. You know what I mean? And
And
that's how
not to
people
but they
usually
have
get
mention
enough
upset.
that.
content.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like there are too many games right now. Like I hate to feel like there are just too many games coming out anymore. Like everyone and their mom is making a game, but like we have 30 studios under Microsoft and every one of them has a game each year and you're like how do I play all 30 games each year? And you don't. And it's like I sat there today with Jordan and I looked at our Netflix and I said this is only Netflix, but what the fuck? Like, how are we gonna find time to watch all this while I'm also still trying to play video games, take care of my newborn son, work, have a job?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that.
absolutely. And go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, go good.
So I was gonna agree with Marshmallow down here and you, Roger. There has been just so many video games, and maybe a break isn't a bad thing.
Yep.
And maybe we'll actually see because he was also saying that I agree with like everyone knows the voice actors. A lot of people don't know the writers, and I'm kind of the opinion that like actors are really, I mean, they're really only as good as the lines that they're given. I
Yep.
mean, they bring that extra little like 20%, but 80% is the writers. So
It,
it's really
voice
interesting to
acting
see.
is only so much, but scene direction, the
Yeah,
way that the everything has been framed for them to actually act is a writer's job. So like,
absolutely,
And I think
absolutely.
I think a big issue too, I forget what studio it was, but and I pray this isn't going on in other studios, that there was a studio in which that they get paid what they get paid, but they also take kind of a cut, and then when the game gets fully released, they kind of reap more benefits off of that. I pray that was just only within that studio because
Well,
I do
pray
feel
harder.
yeah, yeah, because like I feel as though maybe it also might be a situation in which like certain actors and everything they make backdoor deals or whatever, like or we'll call it stipulations within their contracts and everything. If the movie makes this much budget within the box office and everything, then I'll get this or whatever and stuff like that. Like Scarlett Johansson, she made her deal and everything with the whole Disney Plus situation and everything, but because the movie didn't go to theaters and she couldn't go ahead and hit that stipulation in her contract and went to Disney Plus instead, she got fucked out of her money, and then the whole blah 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 court situation and stuff. Maybe there might be a situation in which they need to start within their contracts. Hey, listen, regardless of how much this physically sells, if this game goes to a streaming service and it does whatever amount of numbers, I need to get paid accordingly. So maybe
JoJo
if
has
they
Right.
enough
just
money.
Right. I think
yeah,
actually Xbox does that with Game Pass. Like we've
Yeah.
never seen an actual contract from Game Pass yet, but some of them that I heard rumors from, they actually do have like a tiered system where like because they obviously
yes,
they track how many players play each game on Game Pass, right? Because I mean we look at it, Forza had like 35 million people played Forza or whatever. So like
yep,
they have it, but it's like each tier they would get an X amount of cut. So it's not like a flat cut deal. Like hey, you want your game on Game Pass? Yeah, it's this. No, it's how many people are actually going to play it. So it just generates hype, and then
yep.
next you know it starts snowballing, and those any developers can end up with a massive amount. a big paycheck, honestly. So I don't know how
I know
other
people
services
fly
do
got
it,
a
but
dump truck
Xbox
of
usually
money.
does it. Yeah, Xbox usually does a pretty good job behind it so far, from what I've seen and heard. But other services, probably not sure. But Roger, if you want to go ahead and move on to the last industry news topic here, I kind of could have rolled this into a
Yeah.
Riot one, but here we are.
Incidentally, Tencent decided that they were going to get banned in the state of Mississippi. So, in the state of Mississippi, on all state-operated networks, you cannot play a Tencent-owned game. This made Ole Miss esports team unable to practice playing Valorant.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mind blowing, dude. Like mind blowing. Like this is gonna have a huge impact if a lot of states start doing this. Like Valorant is a huge esports program or esports game, and these colleges that have esports teams are no longer allowed to practice playing these games because of this new law or whatever. So it's like that's gonna be crazy. But I get it because Tencent is like in China, so I can get the whole
I'm
tie-ins behind
curious
it.
though. Is this going to possibly extend to games or companies that Tencent may have a hand in? Because then that takes you down a deeper, darker road. Because now we're talking about like Ubisoft games can't be played now. Like it gets very, very dark and stuff if they start doing this.
Yeah.
Like Tencent has their hands in everybody's cookie jar, so I don't know.
Yeah. Again, like Roger said, it's like old people trying to argue the young people shit. Unless that was Scott that said it
Yeah.
earlier, but it's like that's what I see here. But Roger, what's your initial thoughts from this coming out?
I think this is I don't want to kind of bring in politics here, but I'm going to lightly say it's the Republican talking point that fears China, the fear of China, but also at the same time everything is made in China. Like we like our goods to be our poisonous materials we give to our kids and our families to be made in China, but we don't want their electronics, we don't want any of their big computer items
Program
or
like TikTok.
technology because
TikTok was
yeah,
made in China, and
exactly.
they don't want to have TikTok here in the states.
Well, okay, so
And
to
that's not
go
just a Republican thing for TikTok, but
yeah, to go with him, it's the we are hard on China stance that a lot of conservatives and Republicans really want to take right now, because they do they personally fear China? Probably not. They probably have stock somewhere. Who fucking knows?
yeah.
But it's it's the big China monster. Like it's the big China monster. It started with the Huawei TVs, and we could that could be an entire episode of what happened with the Huawei TVs. And while a lot of the points were valid, they have been just exacerbated, almost into like McCarthyism, if you will, at that point. And now what we see is we've seen at that grand level those decisions, those things really affecting the local level of things that people do in their everyday lives. And now all of a sudden, Ole Miss esports can't play fucking Valorant because the governor or the governor said like they want to appear hard on China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing like we had said with TikTok. Like ByteDance is a subsidiary. They own TikTok. That's fine. TikTok's actual data and metadata is sitting in an Oracle database in Texas, owned by America, and 9 out of 10 people on the board for TikTok are American. But it's like it's this whole big old people worrying about young people shit.
Yeah, old people worrying about like, oh, we don't understand technology, so we just should fear it. Just fear it because we don't understand it.
So let's move on from the political aspect of it. Like let's look at it from the students that are actually here at Ole Miss real quick. Is what are their alternatives to this? Because obviously, like some of these colleges offer scholarships to go to their school to play these games, right? So like, are they going to have to like then buy their own computer set up that? Like, how does that work? Are they going to have to get a scholarship or a grant to then get their own computer if they couldn't afford one to then be able to play Valorant then on their?
But it says on their networks.
So
That's
like,
the thing.
are they going to have?
State
Are they gonna,
owned
playing? Yeah,
so are they going to like make the students like buy their own network for?
you can't.
Like an
You
off-campus-
can't buy your own network. Yeah,
on a state owned network. It's a very, very
So like,
black and white point
is
of
Verizon
point,
considered
very, very
state-owned
black and white.
network?
Absolutely not.
So like, if they get a line from them into their own building and they pay for it individually, would that
Well,
be like a
maybe not.
workaround?
Maybe not into their building, because then you have to worry about actual like building permits, infrastructure at the
Yeah.
actual college. But there's nothing here that's telling me that this team can't just get up and
Go play at a coffee
somewhere
house down
else.
the road.
Yep.
because
They just
state
can't play
owned
on school campus.
Ole Miss is a state school. The state
Everybody
has that network.
popping
It's a
with those
state
hot
funded
spots in
network.
there, man.
It's the same. It's the same exact kind of criteria when you couldn't have TikTok on a government cell phone.
And
It's
like
the
as
same
much as
criteria.
yeah, and as much as I hate to say like, oh, this is shitty, it's local government. You know, they're
Yeah.
allowed to do what they want with it, even if it's for the complete wrong reasons. Like, yeah, we can ban abortion, even though I don't agree with it. Like, that's the local government's right to do, I guess, because we didn't make it a national mandate.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
at the end of the day, it's local government rules until the federal government steps in and writes something that would protect it, some right.
Right.
Which they're
And-
technically not allowed to go against the states, but they can do something that will protect.
Yes, exactly. They
separate
can't they can't be like the state can't do this. They can be like, oh, you know, you have the right to X.
Right. So, let's move on here to our gaming news this week. Obviously, I know we can sit there and talk about that shit all day and night.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what a segue. Nailed it.
Yeah, like we can really go down the rabbit hole with that one. But obviously,
Oh, yeah.
going to kick off the gaming news with Xbox, of course. Just some quick news hitters here is the Starfield leaker that me and Scott talked about last week on last week's episode. He's facing up to 12 years in prison as of right now. Obviously, that can change on depending on how everything in the court systems do play out. But that was just a quick update in regards to that. Staying along the lines of Starfield, though, with the imminent release of it, Xbox decided to remove their $1 Game Pass 14-day trial altogether. Like, they just brought it back not that long ago, but now they're going to remove it like the day or two before like early access started and whatnot. And they're like, gotta be quicker than that. You know what I mean? Like,
It feels really fucking scummy. Like, this is the kind of thing that I'm worried about with with Activision Blizzard acquisition, is just Microsoft being like, oh, look at all the things we do for consumers. Okay, time for a big release. Price increase.
Yeah, I don't know if this would. I don't know if I would qualify this as a price like increase.
It's not a price
But,
increase, but it's an equivalency thing
But
in my
it's
mind.
still dirty. It's
Oh, yeah.
still it still feels dirty. It's not yummy.
it's a very
Like,
bad
it's
PR
not
move.
yummy.
It's a very bad PR
Yeah.
move for sure. What's your thoughts on this, Paul?
See, like as a consumer, it's kind of like it's fucked up, but at the same time, as me being me, I already got Game Pass, so it's kind of like, yo, y'all had y'all chances, y'all knew this shit was coming. Now y'all banging on the back of Noah's Ark, like, hey, let me in. No, dollar's gone, man. Dollar's gone.
We already got two of you in the back. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
like
It's-
we already got the two
It's
beggars
a
in the
pretty
back.
shitty mentality, though. Like,
It
I'm,
is,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna stand back here
absolutely
for a
is.
moment and say it's a really shitty fucking way of looking at it, though, because
Mm-hmm.
you're looking at it like, okay, we have this plan, we want to give it out, we want to make Game Pass accessible to everyone. All right, we're doing a big release, full price, or you have to buy it full price, and it's like, okay, well, you've always had this deal, but now you're trying to, you're literally capitalizing on the fact of its release.
Right.
And
how-
it feels
how
shitty.
huge
It's like, I got my mentality. The I got mine, fuck you, because I already got mine. It's a really bad mentality we have in the US, and I think this kind of just goes to show what we'll do when we get the chance with businesses.
Mhm.
So I think it's one of those things where you can have those two conflicting ideas at the same time, right? Because I
Mhm.
have my PC Game Pass Ultimate, like I'm gonna be playing Starfield. There's a lot of people that want to come into it for $1, but at the same time, like we had talked about last week, Vic, was you got to appease some shareholders every once in a while. And this is gonna get them that money. Like when you look, I think as a business perspective, from a business perspective, Like, I'm not sitting here saying fuck you. I already paid my $15 a month, because the $1 a month. Like, if Starfield comes out when you're offering $1 a month, sorry, like you offered Starfield for $1. Like, get fucked. I got Starfield for $1. But at the same time, it's like, if you already know you're staring down this Game of the Year contender, massive launch from Bethesda, of all people, like, you're gonna take away the dollar.
Yeah.
You're absolutely gonna take away the dollar, because you already know that people are gonna want to play this game. People know that they can play this because this is probably in the past, what, like, week and a half, 2 weeks, like it's the only big release that has really come out Xbox, like, Game Pass day one. So realistically, where's the money gonna be made there? Right, it's gonna be made in that Game Pass. It's gonna be made in those agreements, and Microsoft wants to make sure that they're also getting their end and making their money. So while I can still say, like, that's a fucking dick move,
Yeah.
I can still say I understand it. Like, understanding doesn't equal I don't condone it,
Yeah.
but, like, I get it.
Yeah,
Because
same.
because
Like,
if
and that's
that was
where
gonna
I'm at,
drop,
too.
that'd be
Like,
like
I get it happening.
Yeah, that'd be like if they drop Elder Scrolls 6 and they're like, "Hey, we're turning off the dollar a month now because you guys missed it. Sorry." I'm like, if it got missed, it got missed. That is unfortunate. If these guys turned that off early because they knew a big release was coming out, boo on them. They should have probably planned better. I mean,
Because I do want to talk about the point
kind of a
that
boo on both
Marshmallow was
sides.
pointing out here is that there was plenty of people that were like cheating the system and like just stacking these $1 Game Pass, because like the $1 Game Pass was really only for like new subscribers, like people that, but like you could just go create a new email, new account. You said fuck the Gamer Square, and you would just continually pay $1 every month for Game Pass or whatever, because it used to be 30 per month, $1 for a month, not the 14-day trial that they eventually changed that shit to. But like you could just keep creating new emails, and if you didn't care about Gamerscore having the same one account, same name, you just keep creating.
That's on Microsoft, though. Microsoft could have easily been like, well, I'm gonna see where you're coming from. Oh, you're gonna use VPN. Okay, fine. Then somebody's really going through all this trouble for it, though.
But a lot of people do that. Like a lot of people
And
do
they
that
do.
kind of shit. And
Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
it's like, as somebody who like enjoys going back and forth with like trolls on Twitter, like I just have fun with that shit. I can tell you there is not a subset, and there is a whole group of people who are dedicated to just getting around. Yet they're the same people who scream support the developers and everything. The same people who scream that shit are the same ones who are just like, no, pennies and then it's like, that's why I said, like, yo, to me it's messed up, but as somebody who already pays for it,
Yeah.
oh well,
Like,
and
yeah,
everything.
for me, it's oh well, but at the same time, for like, the people who haven't, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I said, like,
yeah.
to me it's messed up, but I'm saying, like, as me who already pays, like, yeah, it's fucked up for those, but like for as somebody who already pays it, it's kind of like, fuck it. Like, for me, it does not affect me and everything. For y'all, it's unfortunate and everything, but again, as someone I open up Twitter, X, whatever we want to call it now, and I'm just like constantly seeing this. Everybody's like, "Hey, I can't wait to pay $1." Like, yo, you Xbox are trash and everything and stuff. Y'all think you're gonna get my money? And it's not like, hey.
To me,
Like-
those are the equivalent of like your slash like troll wannabe bullies in high school
Yeah.
who would say shit and do shit to like poke and prod at somebody, and then the minute that somebody like even just looked at them, they're like, teacher. It's
Yep.
the same. It's the same mentality that my 8-month-old puppy has right now, or my 8-month-old puppy
They'll
thinks
try to
he's
get
the
away
biggest.
with it until like
He's
you turn.
He's the biggest, baddest in the house, and he's always trying to beat up my older dog. And my older dog then just turns and like barks, and he yips and runs under the couch. Like those people are the ones that are actually ruining this and ruining this because it's those people that made Microsoft and everybody go, well, we're turning that shit off.
Mhm.
for the Starfield release. It probably was at no point was this probably because like, hey, we fucking hate our players. It was like, hey, we have a whole new round of people who brag about paying $1 for the rest of their lives, and we're just gonna go ahead and turn that shit off real quick because Starfield's coming out, and all these fuckers are gonna get it for $1, and then they're like, "Oh, support the developer. What are you doing? How do they not have any money? I give them $1 every month." Like fucking assholes.
No, yeah, for sure. Man, we can sit here and talk about this shit all day too as well. We got a lot.
Forever.
We got a lot more shit to get to. So let's go ahead and move on to some more Xbox news. Big one here though is Xbox hired Mena Sato Kato. Probably butchered her name altogether as director of partnership in Japan, and this is a quote from it. It says responsible for leading partnerships worldwide for Japanese publishers at Xbox. I think this is huge. Xbox has already been moving down that path of like getting more engaged with the different developers in Japan, but like once they can build a presence and actually have like more meaningful connections in Japan, that's going to be a huge benefit to the Xbox brand because PlayStation clearly dominates Japan, and so does the Nintendo products as well. So big hire there. Um, Updates to their software though. If you're an Xbox insider, you'll have access to it here soon. You'll be able to automatically upload screenshots and clips to your OneDrive, and I'm like, why wasn't this there from the beginning? Because I take screenshots and record shit all the time, and I hate having to go into the app on the Xbox and then selecting which ones I want to do, and then hit upload to OneCloud. Like, just do it automatically. I'll go through OneCloud and remove shit on my OneCloud because that's different. But I don't want to go through there and figure out what's going on to delete, then upload. Like, that's just too much. Upload all of them. I'll go through them later. That's going to be key. Updates to games though, Scott. I know this one's big for you here. Elder Scrolls 6 got some news, guys. Officially left pre-production and is now entering the early stages of development. I wonder why, guys. I wonder why. Maybe there's a small game that's releasing this week.
Something might have happened at the studio. They might have got all those developers that
I
BioWare
heard they
laid
got,
off.
$1 a month from quite a few guys, so now they're able to afford to do it.
Exactly.
Now they can definitely do Elder Scrolls 6. But yeah, that's awesome there. Starfield though got kind of like an update from like Pete Hines, one of the head guys over at Xbox, confirmed that mod support will be coming to the Series S and X in the near future here, sometime after launch. This is huge because like modding in this kind of game is going to be huge. Paul, me and you were talking about it in the side chat the one time. I was like, bro, whenever these modders get their hands on this shit and start adding Star Wars content to Starfield,
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
I'm trying to be in Naboo, fight the Wookiees and everything.
Well,
Ah,
I mean,
shit.
we already have somebody who made a Millennium
Right, that's
Falcon.
'cause she-
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're already
like,
making the
it's-
ships. Like, I'm ready for it. Like, you imagine, like, the different storylines, like, not just the planets, like, the different content that you're going to be able to experience within Starfield.
Yeah.
I am
See,
for it.
the other thing that I'm actually very interested in, I remember when Fallout 4 got dropped, and it was a big issue that they were having with textures and reflections in water, and it was actually modders who fixed it within like a week and stuff. They said, "Oh yeah, here's this mod for it, and we're gonna actually fix the frame rate and make it more stable. Hey, by the way, water's reflective again. Oh yeah, by the way, you won't clip into walls." And it's like, holy hell, Bethesda hired them already.
Right.
Goddamn
No,
it.
no. The thing is, it's already happening right now with Starfield because the mods are already available for the PC portion, and someone already
That's
released a
beautiful.
performance mode for
And
Starfield.
the community will always take care of the games that they love.
Yes.
That's
It's
it.
what somebody was saying about like Bethesda. At the end of the day, Bethesda uses their modders to make free content. That's what they were like. At the end of the day, that's all the modders are there for. Like Bethesda doesn't need to hire quality control. They have
Quality control
They
right there.
literally have modders.
Yeah.
They really do. They really do.
I mean, we already see what happened with Halo Infinite, for prime example. It was a fucking floundering game. It was flopping hard as I don't know what.
It's a shit show.
As soon as they released Forge community content mods at that point,
The game was
flooded the
completely
market.
playable
now,
somehow.
Now the game is like one of the best games to play on Halo again, or on Xbox again. So it's like, it's important to have that, especially if their community loves that game. They're going to support it and make that game great again. But moving on here to one last game in regards to Xbox here is Baldur's Gate 3. We were talking about it a little bit ago. This is a quick update. The developer, Larian Studios, give an update and say they do plan to release Baldur's Gate 3 for Xbox sometime between September and November. It's right around the corner, guys. And I think that's going to be huge because, man, like, this could really bolster Baldur's Gate 3 to a whole nother level to win Game of the Year. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, but if it's already on PC and it's doing phenomenal, it's about to drop on PlayStation 5, and if it does phenomenal there, and if it drops on Xbox, bro, like
It's gonna do phenomenal on PlayStation.
Yo,
It's
I
gonna.
just don't see it. Like not
You know
winning
what's-
Game of the
you
Year
know
at the
what's
It's
point.
very
gonna. It's gonna.
interesting?
I will put my money in that hat right now. Baldur's Gate will be Game of the Year.
See, here's the thing I found really
I
interesting.
know, Roger.
like-
I was really skeptical, but so so based off of just your opinion of Armored Core 6, that's probably not going to hit in there.
No,
Starfield, with the problems that Starfield has had coming out of the gate, not saying that's moving it away from Game of the Year, but
technically it's
I'm
not
just
out the
the
gate yet.
fanboys are gonna
The
be
gate's
big
cracked.
enough for it.
I think
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Starfield's
gate's
no.
gonna
cracked.
be-
It's not out the gate yet.
Yeah. Like
I don't know,
with the
man.
first impressions, it came out really well. Like I'm not gonna lie, I think Starfield, like with all of the issues that I've seen, and like there are only a handful of issues, the game's phenomenal. It's honestly super fun. I can see myself getting burnt out in a few hours, like after 15, 20 hours, and be like, yo, when does this game fucking end? Because we were talking about like Hogwarts Legacy feeling like an errand simulator. Starfield feels like that right now. I'm
know
like,
it
they're
doesn't?
like, go to this planet, go to this planet, go to this one. Can I just do like 5 missions here? No, you get 1 per planet. Go.
You know what doesn't
You
feel
gotta
like an
you gotta
errand
explore
simulator?
more then.
You know what doesn't feel like that? Baldur's Gate 3.
That's true. It doesn't. You
Everything-
got, like,
everything-
7, 8 missions in one spot, and you're like, who are you? And
Everything-
they're like, you forgot this mission. Oh, cool. I'll do an 8th one while I'm here.
Everything feels, no matter how many times, and like if you look deeper, and I know you've been playing it, Roger. If you look and you're like, oh well, I ran into this guy, now I have another mission. Like, yeah, that obviously a side mission, but like feels fresh, feels like I'm doing something totally new.
Yeah.
It's like something that like it's not like, oh, I have to fucking go pop 5 balloons again, come back so I can learn Expelliarmus. Like it's nothing like that. And if Starfield is already feeling like an errand simulator, I think that could play into it. Depending, I think it's going to have a great launch on PlayStation 5. And if anybody is watching that has an Xbox who has never played a top down before, you should definitely check out Baldur's Gate when it drops. I'm looking directly at the camera for a reason.
Now, what I found really interesting about this, aside from the Game of the Year conversation, was actually the announcement of when they said, like, it's coming to Xbox. Phil was at Gamescom, developers were at Gamescom, and all we know is that apparently a meeting happened between Phil and the head honcho over there at their studio, and both of them were at Gamescom. So my whole thing is, I'm like, did y'all just step into like a janitor's closet and be like, I checked. So like, split screen, it's not working. You know what?
Oh yeah,
Cool.
that's what we had talked about last week between Sven and they were just like, hey,
Yeah, this is
no
wink,
more
wink.
split screen, dude. And they're like, yeah, no more split screen. They're like, all right, no more split screen for the Series S. They're like, yeah, no more split screen for the Series S. And they're like, all right, cool.
It'll come later down the road. That's
Deal.
the plan.
Like,
Yeah, they're like, all right. So this year, yeah, no split screen, all right? No, okay, all right. This year, got you. And it's like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, that's awesome. Like, that's truly the only thing that was holding it back. I mean, we saw the same thing with Halo Infinite. So it was like,
It felt like that. I think Microsoft looked at it and went, shit, we dropped the fucking ball on Baldur's Gate. Holy fuck, this is
how
gonna-
the
this is
fuck
gonna
can we
beat
get this
Starfield.
game? How
Yeah, they're
can
like,
we get this game?
Yeah, like the fact that Sony has it, they were like, whoa, wait. Sony has it? And they're like, yeah. And they're like,
Yeah.
okay, go.
Honestly, that's been one of the biggest
Yeah.
impacts from having the 2 separate SKUs at launch with the next gen console. Like having the Series S
Yeah.
is like, it was going to have its drawbacks. Clearly, I mean, we see with Halo Infinite, it didn't have split screen there for a while, even on the Series X, because they had to release each game the same on both platforms, even for their own first party games. And they're doing the same exact thing here with Baldur's Gate 3. But Baldur's Gate 3 is on a whole different scale than what Halo Infinite was, and they're like, yeah, just add that shit later. We'll figure that shit out. Just play it. Just make sure it's playable on the Series X. And
They're
then
like,
it's
that'll
without
all
split
work
screen.
out in the wash.
Because, like,
that'll all work out as
I
something.
have a question for Raj and Scott. Both of y'all, you're both playing the game, correct? Baldur's Gate
Yeah.
3. Are you both playing it on PC, or is one of you playing it on console? I mean, on PS5
PC.
has released yet, so it's
well,
on PC.
it
How's
no
frame
console
rate?
versions out
Yeah,
yet.
there's not a console version.
How's
yet
your
for it.
frame rate rocking on that? Is it good?
Fantastic.
I get a few frame drops here and then, but not many.
Beautiful.
I've been my frames have been
Yeah,
fucking
it's,
awesome.
it's not looking good on
Yeah.
PS5 already. I think Digital Foundry posted a video like it drops massive frames all the time on the PS5, and I was like, that's not looking good.
Don't have
When
that
is
12
it?
teraflops,
When is it,
baby.
Drake?
No 12 teraflops. I'll
Yeah.
tell
You gotta start.
man.
You gotta start looking at when it's like dropping frames. What's going on in the
Yeah.
environment? Does the game obviously require an SSD? Because that's the only way you can play it. And PlayStation says that's the only thing you can fucking do. So it really
Got 'em.
depends.
Yeah.
It really depends.
But speaking of PlayStation, Roger,
Oh.
PlayStation was in the news, not looking good again here, buddy.
All right, so PlayStation, we've got services. PS Plus subscriptions are going up by about $20 to $40 per subscription. So the Essentials goes up by about $20. Extra is going up by a $35. We've got Premium going up by $40. And then PS Plus games for September are only going to be Saints Row, Black Desert, and Generation Zero. Like,
Those are the free
it
games
doesn't
that you
feel
get.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it just doesn't feel worth it.
Won't be getting any more updates for Saints
Well,
Row. I'll
that's-
say that much.
That's because the cloud service, they don't have solid states yet, so they have to pay for the infrastructure. Fuck that. And I'm gonna be the first one to say that. Fuck you, PlayStation. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like they have like the newest subscription service, so you would think they would keep the price low so they can get more people to join their shit. But they're like, we're just gonna raise it by 35% or whatever it is.
What are the players getting for that? Because
Yeah, I'm over here like,
it's fuck all.
I don't want it to renew at this point if I'm, paying, fucking $160 a year to get the tier that I'm at. Like that's
For
a lot of
what?
money. But like
Yeah.
at the same time, it's still cheaper than Game Pass for a year.
Yes, it is. Yep.
So like it's still cheaper, but at the same time, I don't use it as often as I use Game Pass. That's the problem.
And the Game Pass
Exactly.
service is better. Like you're
Yeah.
not Hunter Biden over here selling perceived access. Like what are you actually
Got a
getting for
question.
your money? And I think Paul has the answer.
So this is something that I've brought up with one of my friends because most of my friend group is actually all PlayStation players. Odd man out. So I find it very interesting that I stopped paying for PlayStation Plus. You for free games such as Fortnite, I can still play that. I don't need PlayStation Plus to jump into a party to talk with them either. So if all I'm gonna do is play Fortnite with them, jump into parties for free, all I'm doing is paying $10 a month or 120 now going up whatever a year for cloud storage. All you're doing is paying for cloud storage for your games. And here's the fucked up part. Excuse my language. If you stop paying for your cloud storage for a certain amount of time, they erase your cloud save games.
He meant to
So-
say here's the fucked up shit. So when he said here's the fucked up part, he was not
My
entirely
apologies.
I was actually wondering if you were going to bring that point up because they were like with Microsoft and Xbox, like you don't pay for your cloud storage. Like if you play your game on PC and then you want to play on Xbox, your cloud storage thing that your save file just transfers for free.
My
no matter
score
what
for
service you
Doritos
have.
Crash Course still aren't there from the 360.
Right,
Doritos
exactly.
Crash Course, like
Yeah.
it's still there.
But PlayStation now, if you want to have cross save from PS4 to PS5, you got to pay for it. If you don't, buy save file. I'm like, oh,
I
The
lost
only
my
thing that
Spider-Man
makes-
save file.
The only thing that makes sense for this price hike with the cloud storage is that they paid somebody, they paid them, they got overcharged for a cloud storage, a third-party cloud storage infrastructure, things like that, and they're too worried about making their money back, and so they're going to charge it on everybody who has PlayStation right up front. That's
Should've
all
went
it
to
is.
Microsoft, man.
That's
They would've
all
gave me
it
a
is.
good deal.
That's the only thing that makes sense. You're not getting anything better for this. You're getting the same shit for $40 extra a month if you're on premium. What is your $40 a month going towards? Oh, a cloud storage that they'll delete if you don't use. Bet.
yeah.
It's
least-
because somebody has an SLD or an SLA somewhere that PlayStation was gonna pay them
Yeah.
this much money. PlayStation paid them. And PlayStation goes, how the fuck do we get that money back? Bam, your PlayStation portable bullshit, your fucking proprietary headset, and your $40 a month on fucking premium.
Yeah, and at least
You
EA
guys are
Play
paying for
gives you like 10 hours to play a new game when it comes out.
Yeah, I love
Could
that.
PlayStation at least do that for their first party? Hey, listen, we'll give you. Don't even do 10 because it's fucking PlayStation.
You can give us
Give
5
us
if you
at
want.
least, yeah, give us 5,
2.
or it's just 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be a single player game. Give us 2, a 2 hour thing. I mean, probably an hour and 30 minutes is going to be cutscenes, but still, give us 2 hours of fucking play and everything.
Yeah.
You have to give something. Incentivize me to stay, Nan. Because I'm just playing Fortnite. Make
Yeah.
me want to pay you more, please.
Hmm.
I want
Make
to give
me
you my
want to
money.
give you money.
Right.
Yeah,
it,
man.
it does suck with PlayStation. Like none of their first party games are on their like day one. Maybe some of them like hit or miss here. They're like
Yeah.
smaller games, but like none of their heavy hitters are ever
Yep.
going to be their day one. Like
And
that is one of the
no-
biggest selling points of Game Pass. Starfield drops
Nobody-
Wednesday.
yeah.
Guess what? It's their day one on Game Pass. I don't have to spend
And
a dollar.
nobody who plays PlayStation or has these subscriptions can pull this money out of their wallet and go,
It's worth
this
it.
is worth it, and just like drop
Because
that money.
even like the point that with the premium or whatever an extra you can play like the old school games from PS1, 2, and you can't play 3 because those were fucked from the beginning. But their collection isn't that big. Where like Xbox backwards compatibility, like that shit's massive.
I also can't remember the last time they updated that list.
No, they updated like monthly or whatever. Like they had like 1 game or 2
Really?
games or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
What
it'll-
you meant to say is you can't remember the time they've updated it with something substantial
that mattered
Yeah.
that you wanted to
that
play.
actually made you want to fucking play it.
Right. But let's move on here from PlayStation. Let's move on to the other side here with Nintendo, Scott.
Yes, onto a game company that isn't fucking up royally. Nintendo. So the Switch had actually passed the Wii finally in total sales in the United States, and it's coming up on the 360's back end by less than 1 million units. Trailing that is going to be the PS2 by just shy of 5 million. But those are huge numbers coming out of Nintendo. I mean, good for them. And then after that, we have a new Mario Red Edition Nintendo Switch that was announced. It's going to be coming out October 6th, 2023. And I believe Vic is going to be pulling that up, possibly. Yes, look at that. That's sexy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's gonna push
just the
people
all
over the
red.
edge.
Yeah, I mean, and it's nice because they only had to actually make half of the Joy-Cons they would have normally had to make if you bought the normal version of the Switch. But no, this is it's a good looking version of your Switch. I mean, they've had a lot of good versions coming out, but like just the plain red just looks hot. I mean, looks great. But that's all the good things coming out of Nintendo.
Oh man.
Man, that was pretty quick from Nintendo there. They're not really in the news that often. I mean, obviously they had their Super Mario Wonder Direct or whatever this past week, and they kind of just showed some gameplay and what to look forward to in that game. Which don't get me wrong, that game looks really good. I'm actually thinking about picking it up myself. That'll probably be the next Switch game that I do pick up.
Yeah. You got Elephant Mario riding
riding
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
What the hell?
And
I have
Fucking
a
Yoshi's dead, dude.
I have a hunch we'll be talking about Nintendo a lot in the upcoming months.
yeah.
Maybe even later.
Yeah, because actually I was talking with JD and Meech over Shoot the Wind because we were like, because it's a 4-player co-op game. It was like, maybe we stream it for content because I was like, I can stream it with my capture card, and I mean they don't have to stream it. I can just stream that shit and get that shit
Yeah.
for content. But I think that'd be a pretty fun game to check out like that. But moving on to some more unfortunate news of the week is Volition Games that's been around for like, I don't know, like 15, 20 years, is being shut down by Embracer Group. This is the studio that was recently behind the reboot of Saints Row. So with me
Big
saying
sad.
that, now you understand why they're being shut down, because they missed the mark, like
Saints Row?
altogether. Yeah, Saints Row flopped hard.
Saints Row.
And then the game was transferred to another developer to like update it and fix it all up and produce more content. And they were like, yeah, you guys just dropped the ball. Obviously, it's not the same developer that's been at that studio since 20 years ago, so it's a whole new thing. But sad to see that an icon is going away. But Roger, Sea of Stars was on your games played list. I figured we could talk about it here because
Yeah.
some of the news that it came out with.
Yeah, Sea of Stars honestly is just a crazy game out of left field this year. Sea of Stars is a callback and also a meme in itself of the genre that it comes from. We're looking at a game that honestly it it's it just feels like a nice throwback to classic RPGs. When we talk about JRPGs, like it's reminiscent of your Final Fantasies, of your Star Oceans, your games where you're playing one side versus the other. You got turn-based RPGs. Just it feels good, and it also has new and modern elements, and it does callbacks to things like Mario, where you have to perfect time your abilities. Like it just feels good, and it was free on both PlayStation and Xbox on their subscription models. So I grabbed it on the PlayStation 5, and I've been playing with Disney, and it's honestly just been so much fun. It feels like it's going to be a short game, but then it doesn't at other times, and honestly, I just think it's a pretty cool game, and the fact that it got a 95 on OpenCritic and a 93 on Metacritic makes it one of the highest rated games this year.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the talks for Game of the Year. I already know it is. It's going to be up there
Mhm.
in that category, which that category is going to be hard to fuck to even come down to like 5 nominations or 6 nominations because
Yeah,
there's
that's
so
gonna
many
be
games.
if you get in the top 5 at that point, like the only thing that would cost you Game of the Year is nitpicking.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
much.
just
Sorry for
really, really
spoken.
nitpicking.
You missed your spot.
Yeah, and
Try
the
again
thing is,
next
I
time.
downloaded this game to my Xbox because I do plan on playing it, but I did look on to howlongtobeat.com to see how long this game was. This game is not a quick game to beat. It's not less than 10 hours. It is actually anywhere from 25 to 31 hours to beat on average.
Yep.
So I was just like, this is like a medium to long game. So I was like, I gotta add it to a different category. I can't throw
It's
this in my
it's a
short games.
turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
Exactly what it says it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was actually excited to check it out, but I was like, with Starfield about to drop, I just beat Mass Effect 3 2 weeks ago or whatever. And then Starfield dropping, and then like all the slew of games between September and October, and then like even up to middle of November. I didn't want to put this on the list because I'm more excited to play all of the upcoming games. So this is going to be on my backlog. It will get played at the beginning of next year, I think. So definitely looking forward to that one.
That backlog would just be deep.
It's dangerously deep, for sure. But moving on to an update in regards to a leak now officially confirmed.
Yes. So Lenovo, the Legion Go has been officially announced. This is gonna be their portable piece, their kind of answer to the ROG Ally, to the Steam Deck. But it's gonna have a few features here. So we're looking at removable controllers, just like the Switch. It's gonna have a trackpad like the Steam Deck, and it's gonna be able to run Windows 11 like the ROG Ally. So it's kind of like an amalgamation of all
And the
three
Steam
with
Deck.
with
The Steam
with
Deck
po-
can
well,
run
with
Windows.
yes, with possibly the best aspects of all three of them. It's gonna have an 8.8 inch QHD IPS touchscreen. It's gonna the refresh rate is gonna be 144 hertz. It's gonna have an AMD Ryzen Z1 series processor. This will also support super rapid charge, which will take you from like 0 to 70% in 30 minutes. And it's gonna be 250 gig, 512 gig, and 1 terabyte SSDs. Are gonna be your options there for your storage. This is, however, going to start at $699.
$699.
$6.99 for anybody who wants it. It's going to be all those people paying $1 for Game Pass are going to get you.
They've saved up
Gonna
just
get you
for this
the
moment.
Lenovo Legion Go. But no, $699, and it is set to launch this year. And with this year, I mean, we're coming up on Christmas
The
release.
end of the year.
The end of the year. But we're coming up on Christmas release, things like that. I mean, could be what other people want to play instead of the
stuffer.
Steam Deck.
I don't,
Yeah.
It's a stocking
I don't
stuffer,
know.
really.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I feel as though like the Rogue Ally would probably be a better one.
See, there's been a lot of negative with the Ally though, so I'm not sure exactly what's gonna be your. Yeah, I've been hearing it a lot, and I'm not sure exactly what's gonna be your best bet here. People love the Steam Deck. We've been covering the Steam Deck since that was rumored. The same with the Ally, and then now the Lenovo. I I'm willing to. I want to see how this is going to play up against the Ally. This hasn't had a chance, obviously, to have negative reviews, and it's coming into a spot where, like, if you're the Ally and you're looking down all these negative reviews and things people have to say about it, you know, people might just overlook your console for something that's new from a pseudo trusted a pseudo trusted manufacturer. Yeah, so interesting to see how this is going to play out. I think this could be a definite contender for sure.
Yeah, because
I'm not sure
as you
exactly
can see, I
what
have up
Lenovo
on
can do
the
with it.
screen here is the Rogue Ally like specs, and it basically runs the same processor and all that stuff,
Mhm.
but it's a smaller screen by 1.8 inches. And the
Hey,
fact that it only
it's
comes
a lot. Okay.
the fact that it only comes in one storage option at 512, like that could be limiting the availability. Like you can do 256, 512, or 1 terabyte with the Lenovo
Now,
Go or whatever
what
it
was
is
the
you go.
price? What was the price of the Ally at 512? Because this has a 256, a 512, and a 1 terabyte option, and it starts at 699. So I want to see what the 512 option is going to be, because if you're starting at 699 at 256, that could also be a nice big breaking
Yeah.
point between people that want to buy this product.
Yeah, it was
Um,
$599 for the base.
for the base
599.
512. So this is going to be a little bit more weighty on the wallet.
Yeah, see, this is what really pisses me off
Now,
about
but
the
you get that
PlayStation
extra
Portal
inch,
now.
and if anybody, that extra inch is massive. I
Yeah,
mean, whether it be long ways or short ways, doesn't matter. That extra inch.
this is why I said like PlayStation could have literally destroyed the market right here.
No, sorry about that. With some technical difficulties there.
You
Switching
are a
back and forth.
technical difficulty.
That's crazy. Maxed out the PC, but OBS clearly is just still clunky, for sure. But yeah, broke the internet with that one. But let's move on here to our next topic. We still got a bunch of stuff to get to. We'll end up rapid firing through a bunch of it here towards the end. But Borderlands had an announcement with a new collection called Pandora's Box, where it includes Borderlands 1, 2, 3, the pre-sequel, Tales from the Borderlands, and new Tales from the Borderlands. It's coming to Xbox One, Series X and X, PS4, PS5, and on Steam on October 6th. Retail prices are going to be $150, but like for a limited time, you'll be able to buy this for $59.99. But what's cool is that Xbox players who own any of the games digitally can complete the collection for just an additional $30. For PlayStation players who own a digital or physical copy of Borderlands Game of the Year Edition or Borderlands The Handsome Collection for the PS4, or a digital or physical copy of Borderlands 3 for PS4 or 5 will be able to complete the collection for also $30. And for PC players who have previously bought a digital copy of any of the games in the collection, will only pay for the content they don't already own, with an updated price reflected on the Steam page for the Pandora's Box. So,
Which is good.
yeah, that's awesome. That
Yeah.
it works out in the consumer. This is a very consumer friendly ordeal there. What you guys
This makes
thoughts on this?
Microsoft look like a little bitch.
Right.
See Xbox, God damn it.
How dare they? But yeah, that was awesome to see there. But Roger, if you want to rattle off a couple of these here that got like official release dates and or delays.
Yeah, sure. So Persona 5 Tactica, we finally got a release date, November 17th of this year, which is awesome. It means it's right around the corner. Just got announced recently. It'll be exciting to play. You'll be playing with a bunch of different characters across a bunch of different Persona games, I hear, as well as mostly the characters from the new one. RoboCop Rogue City is also releasing in November on the 2nd. Suikoden, the Chronicle games, has the remaster for 1 and 2 have been delayed until 2024 now. So some interesting developments that we've seen here with some of the games coming out.
Is
A
that
little
RoboCop for
sad to
Christmas?
see the Suikoden Chronicles though, the 1 and 2, getting pushed back. That's a game I definitely do enjoy.
Right.
Is that RoboCop game still first person, or did they switch it third?
Not sure
Don't know.
actually.
Because
We don't really have much information on it still.
I would hate if it's first person. Like, I want to see the gun come out my leg. Like
It's
that's
first person.
Yeah, it's a first-person shooter. That's a gameplay already came out for it.
Yeah.
Put her on Game Pass, man. I ain't buying it. It's like-
Right. But yeah, it's sad to see. But I think Suikoden being delayed kind of makes sense with like how
Yeah.
stacked
It's
the
a
rest of the
puppeteer.
year. Yeah, like January, February release date might be perfect for this kind of game because not too many games release at the early part of the year.
Forgot it was even coming out, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, big sad.
Big sad, but makes sense. But
Mhm.
Scott, if you want to talk about Final Fantasy for us real quick.
Yes, absolutely. So, in a recent panel, the Final Fantasy 16 producer Naoki Yoshida of Final Fantasy 14 fame, if anybody's unfamiliar, confirmed that the team is actively working on the PC port for Final Fantasy 16. And on top of that, there are 2 DLC expansions underway for the game. Great news coming out of Final Fantasy 16. I mean,
Yeah.
exciting.
It's a little. It did.
Mhm.
We're bringing back the definitive editions of games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like you said. Hopefully, this is what resuscitates that. But it's exciting. I want to see what they can do with those 2 big pieces of news coming out of Final Fantasy
Do
16.
you know how like we get like new game plus in games? Do you think that maybe with one of these DLCs we could just make the game turn based? Like, hey, you could play it like in this free fighting form if you want, or you run up to the boss zone and hey, now it's turn based now. 'Cause, so like, I feel like maybe that would actually pipe it up a lot more.
Yeah,
For
It
sure.
would return to what the genre is known for.
yeah,
Honestly, we saw the
There
same
you
thing
go.
happen with Final Fantasy VII Remake Part One. Like people were like, I don't know, man. Like it.
it
It
does
did live
not.
up to
It's
the
not.
hype.
It wasn't feeling like a Final Fantasy game. It wasn't giving you Final Fantasy vibes. Honestly, Sea of Stars was giving me more Final Fantasy vibes than 16.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, for sure. I mean, but we already talked about why
Like,
16 doesn't feel like Final Fantasy. It's because it
yeah,
had the same game director from the what game?
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
What game were we
Dragon
talking about?
Dogma.
No, not no. It wasn't that one. It was talking about the.
he said, "Watch it, watch
It was
it."
talking about the combat system. It was sent from like Monster Hunter
Oh.
or like
Oh my.
Devil
Yeah,
May
it
Cry
was.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
Devil
something
May Cry,
weird like that.
and it
Yeah, it
and
was Devil May Cry. Yeah, yeah.
and that's why it feels so different. Is because the combat
Yeah.
is more like Devil May Cry as opposed to Final
Well,
Fantasy.
Devil May
well,
Cry
the
same
thing
people who
is
do
though,
Dragon Dogma.
like the last Final Fantasy game, like the last AAA title for Final Fantasy, was literally the same gameplay mechanics. Though that's the other thing. Like Final
Oh yeah,
Fantasy
15. Yeah.
15 literally had the same gameplay mechanics. So I'm still it. They changed it a little bit where like the combat, yes, does feel a little less like that one, where that one felt more like 11 I think it is. 11 and 12, I can never remember which one's the MMO and which one's the
14 is
RPG.
the Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, there was an original MMO too in
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
11,
yeah,
11
yeah.
was the MMO.
Thank you. So 12, Final Fantasy 12 was the one that, had that sort of open world free combat that kind of helped to revolutionize Final Fantasy into a new sort of eco space. I think this one felt like that, but a little more clunky because of that, yes, Devil May Cry aspect where like you're trying to like press multiple buttons at the same time. Like you're like on 12 buttons on the controller and you're like, I have to sit in here and play a rhythm game with hitting right D-pad X, right D-pad X or whatever to use commands. And it's like, whew. Why?
Yeah, no,
Would
thank
have
you.
never happened with the N64 controller. And as a matter of fact, I think we were talking about this the last time that Paul was on the show because he was the one that did tell us that it was the Devil May Cry combat combat modes.
So moving on here to Valorant was in the news again. I mean, it seems like they've been in through the news all the way through. But
Not in Mississippi, but
right, not in Mississippi, but you won't be able to experience the new Astra changes that are coming. While in Astra form, you'll now be able to hear everything happening around her physical body, which I think could be a pretty cool update. But she's already been kind of like a mainstay in the meta, so I don't know why adding another benefit was needed. But
Honestly, every time I play, she's never in the game.
right, well, that's what I'm saying. Like in our meta, no, but in like pro meta, she's like one of the main 5 that always gets.
I love how you differentiated the two there for a second.
Yeah, we had to. Had to.
You got to.
Because we're definitely not pro level.
The way we play versus the way the pros play, yeah, no, we
Yeah.
won't see her.
Yeah, not at all. But Roger, we were just talking about obviously with Final Fantasy being an MMO, but this old school MMO is getting an update.
Yeah, so New World finally added mounts. Like, crazy. This is like what, 2 years after we launched? So in the rise of the Angry Earth, the southeastern tip of Adernum, formerly known as First Light, has fallen, once a welcoming place for newcomers. Adernum, the fields have been ravaged by the fury of Artemis and the Angry Earth. We're getting Rise of Angry Earth October 3rd, 2023. It is a $30 expansion. It will have new progression, weapons, a transformed zone, new endgame expeditions. 65 is your new level cap. A new Heart Troon ability. Season 3 will launch alongside, as well as the addition of mounts.
Are you going to go back to this, Roger? Because I know you played this when the game first came out.
I wanted it to be so much better than it was. The problem with this game is the fact that the players ruined it. Developers looked at WoW and said, I like your economy, has some cool ideas. We're going to do the same thing you did. Well, we have all these issues. Oh, shit. We didn't solve any of them. And then the players broke the economy, and then it became like gang wars. Everyone just started joining in one of the 3 big gangs that people started. And it was like, okay, well, cool. We're done. New players, go fuck yourself.
Is this the Amazon game?
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez. See, you said
The one that
New
was
World.
the one that was blowing up video cards.
Yeah.
one-
You said
He
New
melted
World, and in
video
my
cards.
head, I started thinking about the game Perfect World, and I was like, no, that's New World, not
Fun
Perfect
game.
World. Yeah. But I could have sworn they had
Close,
mounts in
even
that
this
game
close.
already.
So, Scott, if you want to round out our gaming news before we move on to the leaks and rumors this week.
In a very bold move, Cotton, let's see if it pays off. Diablo 4 introduced their first XP and gold boost weekend, and it is the same weekend that Starfield comes out.
Turns out, Cotton, it did not pay off.
Because
Yeah.
it's going to be this coming weekend, and I'm just like,
It's like
don't
there's
think it's gonna work."
I love Diablo 4. That game was great. I had a blast playing it, and I am gonna completely ignore the XP and gold boost because I will be playing Starfield.
Yeah.
And then if I'm not playing Starfield, I will be playing Baldur's Gate. And if I'm not playing either of those, I will be sleeping or walking the dogs
And playing
or
Pokemon
doing some
Go.
housework. Or playing Pokemon Go because I'm heading somewhere. I gotta go to Wegmans. Better play some Pokemon Go. There's a gym there. Lord knows. But yeah, I love to see it, but I definitely probably won't be partaking.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because there's some other new shinies that are gonna be out there, and I'm gonna
Piece
just
of candy.
playing that.
Piece of
Yeah,
candy.
piece of candy, absolutely. And I have been gnawing on a really, really, really good piece of saltwater taffy, and I can't wait for this candy bar to drop on the 5th.
For sure.
Man,
I do feel like that.
Bad choice over there at Blizzard, per usual. But that's all the gaming news that we got this week. Let's move on to the leaks and rumors, because we do got a couple for you this week.
got a fun one.
Alright, so I'll kick it off with Xbox. Apparently there's a new controller on the way. Color, it's the Astral Purple. It's seemingly leaked online. You can actually already see this color via the Design Labs, but apparently they're just going to release it as one of their main controllers, and I'm for it. Maybe I'll add it to the collection one day. But Roger, guess what? Valorant is back in this section as well.
No way. I heard there's a new agent. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
And it
man.
will be a duelist. His card is called Bulletproof, and his code name is Hyperfocus. So as much as we got out of it.
Yeah.
Love
And-
to see that.
Yeah, when was the last agent we got? Neon? That was a duelist.
Yeah, for a duelist,
Yeah.
Neon.
Yeah, so maybe it's time for a new one, because it's been like Sentinels and whatnot, like, so we'll see. But Scott, Nintendo was also back in the leaks and rumors here.
Yeah, and this has been all but kind of confirmed. So basically, the next gen Switch has been getting shown off behind closed doors at Gamescom. There's a lot of talk about this going on, about what people have been looking at, what people have been seeing, and there is even a what to expect from this section. And so what I've seen is based off of recent rumors, the upcoming Nintendo Switch will be priced at about $400, which to be expected. The new console is expected to have a custom NVIDIA Tegra 239 processor and a 1080p or 720p display. It's also going to support 24 gigabits per second HDMI 2.1. It's going to have a 10-bit HDR, 4K output at 60 frames per second, but it won't have the 120 hertz refresh rate. It's also going to have, as far as memory and storage, it is rumored to come with 16 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes built-in storage.
Just a question though, real quick. If it
Those
has
are
a
rumored asterisk.
yeah, so
TM.
with the rumor though, it says it's a 1080p display or 720, but it supports 4K. Like, is this upscaling to 4K from 1080p, or is like how I'm not following here.
For 4K output, so it could push up to 4K. I would
Maybe if it's docked and it's hooked
maybe
up to a
what
4K
they can
TV.
yeah, if it's docked, and if it's docked has the right power to come through it, possibly. I don't know what exactly they're going to be working there as far as magic. If it's dark magic, something we haven't seen before, or if it's your normal run-of-the-mill mainstream kind of light magic that a lot of people have been doing, it really just depends on how they're going to doing that. It could also be with the HDR and the upscaling. They could push to 4K possibly, or pseudo 4K, or something that could rock along the lines of that.
Okay.
So.
See, that's very interesting. I always thought that the Switch 2 in concept wouldn't actually be an actual handheld. It would just be a dock, and you would just dock your Switch on that, and that would give it, let's call it, pro capabilities. So that would actually be really cool if it's like a 1080p screen on the go, but when it's docked, you can go up to 4K.
So it'd be like the little mini cons with your Autobots.
Literally
The little
that,
mini
yeah.
ones, and get your upgrades and just like put on a shoulder, and now you got 4K.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not the Nintendo way.
But these are the once again the rumored asterisk TM. You heard it here first, or you didn't hear it at all. If we're wrong, sort of rumors that we've been seeing, but that's been the talk coming out of people that have seen the Switch 2 Electric Boogaloo at Gamescom, and what they're kind of seeing coming out of that.
Won't be playing Call of Duty on that.
So speaking of Call of Duty, though, thanks for the segue here. Season 6 apparently was leaked or rumored to showcase some of these like licensed operators. Apparently, we're going to be getting Skeletor, Spawn, Ash Williams, and Alucard. And I was just like, seems pretty cool, but it's just a cash grab. $25, $30 per bundle. Everybody's going to want them just because, and this is why I'm going to continue and protest the rest of this fucking life cycle of Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I'm right there with you. I have some Call of Duty points literally just sitting there.
Oh, me too. I have like 7,000 of them.
I only got 3,100, but it's literally just sitting there just for the Tomb Raider bundle. And they're just I'll get Laura Croft and everything, but
you didn't get Nicki Minaj?
Hell no, I gotta go. Although I am mad because when he kills somebody with her guns, they turn into paint. So like that shit looks really cool. Just paint splattered everywhere. But like if the Spawn suit comes with like the cowboy Spawn suit as well, that I might get.
Okay.
That I bought that statue from my man's Yami and everything because he's obsessed with Spawn. So, and that cowboy suit looks fucking amazing. So they might get me for my money if they bring that.
And for what it's worth, the Nicki Minaj bundle was not worth it. I played one game in third person. It's not factually accurate.
Yeah, she had a wrong hairstyle that day. But moving on to our next leak and rumor here, Roger.
Yeah, so for our next and almost last, Beyond Good and Evil, the 20th anniversary edition leaked via the US ratings board. So we will be getting a 20th anniversary edition for it.
Yeah, curious, but where the hell is Good and Evil 2? Like they announced it like 12 years ago, and we haven't seen it since, really.
I'm part of their insider team. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but fuck it, whatever. There's zero talk on their board whatsoever. Like there's literally nothing going on. And you can feel free to sign up for it on your Ubisoft account. You can sign up to join too. It's just dead comms for 2.
Damn.
But
I mean, Ubisoft is dead comms to begin with for everything. It seems they just don't
Assassin's
have money
Creed.
because
It's just Assassin's Creed.
they literally. Yeah, they've flopped with everything because they don't put the time or effort into anything but Assassin's Creed. And even then, they're still flopping on a lot of them. Like, they have these laws where they're like, okay, we're not assassins anymore. And it's like, okay.
I mean, Valhalla was
If
like
we
the
can-
best-selling Assassin's Creed game like ever.
And
so,
it was.
I can't say they're flopping, but I get what you mean though. It's so
Yeah,
far away
it
from the
also
original
was an
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed game.
Right.
If we can still appreciate Kanye for making Graduation, we can still appreciate Ubisoft for making Assassin's Creed. Just gonna throw that one out there. If that's the only game they make, then that's fine. I'm okay with that. However, aren't they getting all that dirty cloud infrastructure money, Vic,
Yeah, they sure are.
that we'd spoken about last week? So hopefully they'll be able to do something with that.
Maybe
Other than just
maybe
throw
we'll get
that
a
in
Immortals
Shudder.
Phoenix Rising 2, even though it got canceled. Maybe it'll come back later. Maybe.
Mortals
Yeah,
Rising
yeah.
2, Electric Boogaloo.
Right.
The uncanceling. The
Yeah,
uncanceling.
uncanceling of a canceled game. Yeah, got it. But moving on, a game that I know it's not going to get canceled. That's rumored to be in development.
No matter how hard they have tried to cancel this game is getting a sequel. Everyone's favorite errand simulator, Hogwarts Legacy 2, has been rumored to be developed. It's already in development, according to a leak from Insider Gaming. So hopefully this one actually comes with fucking Quidditch, because both of those, to separate them was just ridiculous. Don't know why that was done in the first place. But Hogwarts Legacy 2 is rumored to be in development, according to the Insider Gaming leak that they have there. So who knows if it'll be a sequel direct from that storyline, how that's going to play out. All we know, Hogwarts Legacy 2, Electric Boogaloo.
It's on the way. But yeah, man, that's all the leaks and rumors, and that rounds out our podcast. So we do want to thank everyone who did come through and check us out live today here on Twitch, and anyone who does check us out later on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you listen to your podcast at. But Paul, where can the community find you at?
You can find me on all your various social media networks at Inhuman Line. That's INHUMANLINE. And if you guys are into energy drinks or stuff, check out Glitch. Use code Shoot to Win at checkout.
Yes, sir. And what about you, Roger? Where can the community find you at?
I'm not streaming right now, but if I am, it's at twitch.tv/lunatic_oblivion.
And you, Scott?
Well, considering I haven't streamed in a while, and I only seem to do when we're just doing something random, you can find me at twitch.tv/Scoby1. If you want to get a hold of me on Discord, Scoby1 is my name there, no numbers. Battle.net, if you want to get together and play some games, numbers are 11780, of course, following Scoby1, as it has been every week. And last but not least, if you want to just kind of see what I'm doing in my personal life, get a hold of me in my DMs, just kind of shoot the shit, get a hold of me at Scoby1. What about you, Waggertoods? Was that...
Oh, that's great. Nah, of course you can
I
find
had
me
to
out
throw it out
at
there at least.
Twitter, Twitter or X, however you want to go by it. Mr. Never Chillin' _ there. Threads is at Mr. Never Chillin'. Facebook is Vic Brubacher for any questions, concerns, you come on the show. Xbox is X Never Space Chillin'. You want a game, party up, hit me up there. And of course I stream over on my Twitch at twitch.tv/Mr. Never Chillin'. So come catch me out there. But we want to thank everyone again, and until next time, peace.
Restart podcast.